jump into it. How you doing? Today we're doing how to play the top 10 Christmas songs. This is part 2. We did 5 songs yesterday. We talked a little bit about how to read chord charts, the 9 essential chords, that sort of thing. We talked about some basics. We answered some questions. We had fun. We had some eggnog. We lit a Yuletide log and had plenty of fruitcake. So we'll be doing that again today. All right? Yeah. As you can see, I've got my YourGuitarSage sweater on here today, or hoodie. Oh, thank you so much, Mike. I so appreciate that. I'm just going to have a little sip of water here. It's so good in my brand new YourGuitarSage mug. How about that? Hot cocoa, actually. So we got that. Pretty cool, right? Look at that. So we got the swag store up. We'll tell you more about that in just a little bit. Or if you want to, you can go to Shop YGS right now. We've mentioned it in social media. And yeah, we've got so many really cool things. In fact, we bought a giant box of about $600 or $700 worth of gear, not gear, but mugs. Mugs, that's all, just mugs. $700 worth of mugs. No, we got all sorts. We got beanies and hats and baby wear and stuff for the ladies, stuff for the men, all different sizes. So we'll be giving some of that away. We'll be keeping some here at the studio. And yeah, just having some fun here today. All right, my friends. So here's the deal. Instagram's watching, Facebook's watching, YouTube's watching, the whole world is watching. Now, but at least a few of us are, and we're going to be learning some Christmas songs today. So here's the deal. First thing you got to do is go get the PDF. I'm going to talk to you about it right now. As I'm talking to you about it, filling the air with Yuletide cheer and stalling so that you go get the PDF so that we can work together. That's your job. That's your cue to go do it now. You're going to find that link in the description of the video. It's either there or here, or it's around the video somewhere. You're going to see a description of the video of what's going on here, and you're going to click on the little thing that says get the PDF, okay? So here is the PDF, and basically I'm just going to scan it over with you really quickly. Those of you on Instagram, you know where to go. The free course right here. I'll mention it a lot during the program. Why? Because so many of the questions, probably 90% of the questions that we have here today can be referred back to this free course, okay? And although sometimes it just takes an answer, a very quick answer that I can answer your questions, it's just a short little answer. Most often it requires more information, and so that's why I have these videos for you, and I've created them for you. Okay, so anyhow, a little bit here about, you can just read that on your own. So how to read chord stamps. If you don't know how to read chord stamps, it takes you through this whole bit, okay? How to play open chords. What I mean by that is how to play open chords effectively, cleanly, etc. There's a trick to it, for sure. No one on the planet Earth or beyond has ever gotten this in the beginning. It takes some time. It's a new thing. It's like learning a new language. As I say all the time, I really suck at Mandarin. I'm not very good at it. I cannot go to China and speak with the locals because I don't practice Mandarin. So I'm not going to be good at it. So there's no reason why you should be good at guitar, strumming, any of this before you actually try to do it and keep practicing and keep practicing, okay? You're going to see lots of chords here. These are chords that you're going to be using today, okay? How to master strumming quickly and easily. I go over this and all the different types of strumming. We're not going to do all that for today, obviously. I'm just teaching you some Christmas songs, but I want you to know that it's there for you if you need the supplemental help. And then how to read chord charts. Many of you might start off here today. It doesn't matter where you start off. You could be starting off right in the beginning, but I guess I'm saying many of you know how to play some basic open chords, know how to do some basic strumming and that sort of thing. It wouldn't matter whether I was everybody or nobody here. It's all in here for you to peruse, okay? But understanding how to read chord charts in a nutshell, and I'm going to get to it because you're not going to be able to read all this right now, but you can read it later on. But we'll just go over one here really quickly. You can see that right here at the top, It says in 4, that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It doesn't tell you the speed of the song, the tempo, but the song's in 4 or it's in 3. A waltz is like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, okay? And capo 2 means you're going to put the capo at the 2nd fret, and C feel means just what it means, as if you're playing in the key of C. So there'd be a lot of C, A minor, F, that sort of thing. Okay, right down the left on the side here, you're going to see like intro, verse, chorus, that sort of thing. It's just telling you where you're at in the song. If the song's in 4, each one of these gets 4 beats. Okay, so this G would get 4 beats. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, F, 2, 3, 4, etc. Get it? And then these right here are called split measures, and what that means is the whole measure gets 4, but in this case here we have 2 chords. We have a C, and then we have a G chord. Throw a B in the bass. Okay, that's what that means. That's what a slash chord is. It just means whatever here's to the left, that's the chord, and the B means put a B in the bass instead of a G in the bass. This will be a split measure here as well. A minor F just means 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you're splitting that measure up. Okay, that's the basics of chart reading. You can read more detail about that later on. And then let's go down to Little Drummer Boy, because that's where we stopped. Yes, we stopped. We did Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer yesterday, right? We did Jingle Bells, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, Here Comes Santa Claus, Silent Night, 2 versions of it. And so today we're starting at Little Drummer Boy. Okay, so you can see here, no, it doesn't say anything about a capo, doesn't say anything about the timing. Let's do this. Okay, so what we've got here, as I said yesterday, before I look at a chart, before I do anything in regards to getting ready to play a song, I take an inventory of what it is that I think I may be doing. So in this case here, I see Little Drummer Boy. Do I know that song? Yeah. They told me. Okay, cool, I know that song. Okay, there's a verse and there's a tag. Okay, and then the chords are, and I'm going to look through it. I'm going to say there's a D, there's an A, there's an A. Now I put that 2 there. I'll tell you that in a minute. But literally, this song is 2 chords. A D and A. Oh no, there's a G thrown in there. Okay, but that's it. The song is in 4, and so this is just something I sketched together very, very quickly here for you. But there's a cool little bar of 2, as you can see in here. Okay, this is not a very traditional way of doing this. This is just my shorthand, but it would throw you off if you didn't know what I'm doing here. So I'm going to tell you. Okay, so Little Drummer Boy, right? It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or there's a measure of 2 there. That's why I got thrown off there. So we got so like let's see here on this D we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have this measure of 2 right smack dab in the middle of all this. And if you're not prepared for that, it's really going to throw you off. So you got inventory of your chords here. You're like, okay, I can play a D, I can play an A. If you can't, then you'll want to take advantage of that free course I'm giving you today. But otherwise, if we know how to do this, and we're not going to get fancy with this strumming here yet. Technically, it's songs in 4, so we're going to count 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and strum that D. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, A, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's line 1. Do you get that? We're going to do it again. So each one of those Ds only gets 4 beats, okay? And the A gets 2 beats. So let's try it again. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. That's line 1. And that's pretty much how we're going to do this thing the whole way through. So even though I'll probably count through this and I'll kind of sing the melody a little bit, maybe sing part of the song, but just to give you an idea of where we're at in the song. Okay, so from the top. 2, 3, 4, come 2, 3, they told me, pa-rum-pa-pum-pum, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, a newborn king we lived got the lyrics. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, third line. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Tag. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so technically, this D-A here should be underlined. Sue me, okay? I did not underline it. I apologize. But nonetheless, you see two chords in the same space. You will play 2 beats per, okay? You'll get used to this. Everybody does it differently, but most often, at least here in Nashville, when you have a split bar, you're going to underline it, okay? And that just means, hey, player, if this is in 4, split it up, 2 and 2, okay? All right, excellent. So look, God rest ye merry gentlemen. God rest ye Jerry mental men. That would be even more fun, wouldn't it? God rest ye Jerry mental men. All right, I don't know what I'm talking about. Here we go. So this one's in 4, and we've got split bars, right? We've got standard bars, we've got split bars. So right here, this E minor, that's 4 beats. This guy here, 4 beats, but we got 2 chords represented, a C and a B7. Same thing here, A minor G, E minor D, okay? All sorts of different denominations, but we're just putting 2 chords in a space of 4, splitting it up. Otherwise, as you're going to see later on, we might have some hash marks over this. So if we wanted the C to be for 3 beats, we'd have 3 hash marks over it, and the B7 would have 1 hash mark. Or you could just have 3 over this and not 1 over the B7. You would just automatically know it's a measure of 4, so that last guy gets a beat. Different ways to do it. Okay, so, God rest ye merry. Okay, so I think this is right? God, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest ye merry gentlemen. Now I'm going to need to work this out for a second. I need to make sure I've got this right. God rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. Okay, 1, 2. I had the speed wrong. Okay, so we got, and now here's the deal. A lot of times when you're looking at a chart like this, it doesn't have a ton of information. It's a skeleton, what we call a skeleton chart. So you kind of have to know the song a little bit. Now some folks may say, well, I really want a lot more detail. Why don't you put more detail in here, Eric? Well, you can. That's called sheet music. And then you might be saying, but I don't know how to read sheet music. So you're kind of stuck in that middle place of, you want to keep it simple, but if you want complicated and you want all the little bits and pieces like sheet music, then you're going to need to be able to read all that sheet music and be able to take all that information in very quickly. That's why charts are really cool, because if you know the song, you know basically how it goes, and you have some musicality, you know, you've worked up some musicality, then it's very easy for you to go, God rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. And then you can kind of figure it out for yourself. Okay, so this is in 4. So like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's a good practice to get into there, where you're singing the melody, but you're also counting at the same time. For those of you that are having more difficulty with strumming, keeping in time, when do I play what chord, this is really, really helpful. So in the beginning, we have to think about things elementary, in an elementary way. Every new thing that we do, we have to think in an elementary way. For those of you out there that don't know how to swim, no one's probably going to just throw you in the pool unless you're old school dad, like they used to do in the 60s and 70s, where they just throw a kid in the pool and hope that they swim. But we're talking like nowadays, you don't just do that typically. So if you're new to swimming, we're not going to throw you in the pool and ask you to do the rest stroke. You're going to learn to doggy paddle, you're going to learn to tread water, that sort of thing first. Any new thing that we do, we're going to have to do it in an elementary way. Why wouldn't we do that with guitar? Learning charts, learning new chords, right? Everything. Why do I say this? I say this because a lot of people stress out when it comes to guitar because they can pick it up easily, they can do this, and there's no sense of height, fear of heights, or fear of water, or fear of some public speaking or something like that. With a guitar, we're like, we can just do this. We see people do it. I can do things with my hands. I can play guitar. Alas, it's not quite that easy. We got to learn. It takes some time, right? So I'm saying that to give you, to lighten the pressure off of you, for you to understand that all this stuff is new and it's going to take some time, okay? So for this one, it's really easy. Take it nice and slow. Just remember, don't do it as fast as I did in the beginning, right? So it should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool? Okay, easy enough. Now, we wish you a friggin' Merry Christmas. I love this one. Okay, so we got split bars in here, right? Look, see there, the second line and the fourth line, we got C and D7. Okay, Eric, now you're freaking me out. What's up with those dots over there? Well, I'm going to tell you. You got 2 dots over the C, you got 1 dot over the D7. Means two beats for the C, 1 beat for the D7. Why? Because this song's in 3. So a lot of folks don't realize this until you start reading charts and counting and becoming a musician, where you have to keep up with all this, right? So if you want to stay in time with the band, you have to know that the song's in 3. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? So you're like, light bulbs going off, right? So this is a great thing to try to do when you're listening to songs, is try to listen to that heavy pulse, right? We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. Right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So those accents are on the 1, and so that's how we accent the chords typically. It doesn't have to be obnoxious. We don't have to be crazy about this accent. We don't have to be. We wish you a Merry Christmas. It doesn't have to be that. We could just be very subtle. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. Get it? Dude, my voice is shot today. I don't know why. I stayed up really late last night, so that's part of it. My wife and I were just laughing, giggling until the wee hours of the morning last night. We were laughing about just stuff. So I'm obviously tired today. So when you're counting this, that's what you do. You got to count it in 3. So each one of those guys gets 3, right? And you get to the split bar, you can't just split it up, right? You're not going to do 1 1/2, 1 1/2. You could, but usually you're going to have like 2 and 1 or 1 and 2, depending on what you want. Folks say this all the time. I have people ask subjective, or they ask questions that are answered, that can only be answered subjectively. So, how do you know which one gets the 2 and which one gets the 1? It's the artist determines that. Whoever wrote the song or whoever arranged the song or produced the song said that they wanted that. So really it's just a matter of what sounds best to you. So you could change it if you wanted. Okay, so this is in 3. We wish you. Okay, so here we go. So we got, we'll give it 3 counts. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, split bar, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's take that again. Let's take it from the B7. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You don't have to be able to play that right now to get what I just did. You can go, I get it. You just threw that 1 chord in there for 1 beat. That's all you need to do. Eventually, you'll be able to play it like that. Okay, second section. Good tidings we bring to you, and something. Da 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 da. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. I know. Sorry. Sue me about the lyrics. People give me a hassle about that all the time on YouTube. I don't know lyrics. I'm not a lyrics guy. I've always been a melody guy. I'm a musician. All right, so there you go. Easy enough. You got split bars there, and you got those hash marks over the chords. That'll let you know 2 beats for that and 1 beat for the other. Cool? Cool. All right, so Away in a Manger, okay? Let's do this one. Away in a Manger. So this one's in 3. Boom. By the way, I did all these charts years ago for my students, for my one-on-one students. So if you're like, well, I wonder why these aren't all the same. They don't all look the same. No, they don't, because I literally, this one, I probably just, yeah. I mean, who knows what I did this in? Word, Sketchpad, Papyrus. I mean, it goes way back. I was doing these years ago. So so each one's going to be a little bit different. Okay, so Away in a Manger, right? We got, this one's in 3. Away in a manger, no crib for a bed. So you have that 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This is probably the most important skill that any musician could ever learn. Now, I say stuff like that often because there's a handful of very important things. But in regards to staying in time, it's very important. Now, obviously, if you can't play the chords, staying in time is not going to help you any. But if you know the chords and you can't stay in time, it's a big deal. So I should say it's probably one of the easiest things that you can learn to better yourself as a musician, because you can have all the chords down, all the theory, everything else. If you can't stay in time, if you don't know how to count, then, and what I mean by that is counting to the song, being able to hear the accent, okay? Counting, it has more to do than just counting. Everybody can count here, right? So it's more to do with hearing the pulse of the music. So, away in a manger, no 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's how you want to think about this. Since this is all in 3, we've got this split bar here, and we got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we're going to split that bar up. This guy gets 2, this guy gets 1, just like the last song. Easy enough, right? Okay, so we're in 3. Let's do this. So we're going to start with 1, 2, 3. Away. We're in a different key, okay? So away in a manger, no 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay? Now, I know some of you are saying, Eric, you're going too fast. Look, I'm just showing you where the chords are. Everybody watching this is in a different place, believe it or not, okay? Everybody has started playing guitar at a different day than you. They have a different skill set. They practice differently. They have a different mind, a different personality, different guitar, everything. So all that, those are all variables into how well you'll be able to play this today. But your practice is what is going to determine whether or how you're going to play this tomorrow, and that is it. It doesn't matter that you were born into a musical family or anything like that. Okay, it's not in the blood. Maybe a teeny tiny 1% of 1% is in the blood. Otherwise, it has everything to do with practice. I've met kids that have come from majorly musical background families, and they absolutely became accountants and lawyers and hated music. And then I've seen folks come from families that were accountants and lawyers and had nothing to do with music and absolutely excelled in music. And then I've seen folks come from families that had musical families and they were also good musicians. So I think that there probably is a little something in the blood there, but if we are always leaning on that, we're going to be using it as an excuse as opposed to, oh, wow, that person's really good. Like the little guy that we'll show you again that we showed you yesterday. At the end of the broadcast, watch for this video that I'm going to show you of this little kid playing. Absolutely amazing. But the only way that you can get like that is through practice. Why do I say that? I say that to give you hope so that you understand that the only reason that you're not playing as well as you want to play today, it has only to do with practice. Yes, lessons are important because you got to know what to practice and where to go and stuff. But bottom line, I'm telling you, any issue that you're having with guitar or anything in life for that matter, but we're talking about guitar, hello, is practice. It's the only thing that can remedy it, okay? done preaching. Here we go. First Noel. Now I have right here a more complex version and then a more simple version. But Eric, there's only one way to play a song. Oh, but there's not. There is an infinite amount of ways to play a song. Listen to cover songs. Listen to how people change the chords, and they change the melody, and they change the key, and they change the timing, they change the rhythm structure and everything else. We were just, Chris just came in here and said, check out, what was it? What's the name of the band? Scary Pockets, this band, kind of a project band out of LA where they bring in different players and they play all these cover songs, and they're totally doing funk versions and kind of all this jazz thrown in. So there's an infinite way to play a song. Infinite ways, okay? And all that to say, how do you know what's right? There is no right, it's subjective. You get to make the choices here, okay? In this case here, I made a simple version and a slightly more complex version. But, you know, we talk about jazz, you can be playing a chord per beat or more or faster, you know? In this case here, we're trying to keep it simple, right? Grandma doesn't want you to play jazz chords. She wants you to play open chords, I promise you, okay? So, although jazz is cool, Grandma doesn't like jazz for the most part. She just wants you to play just standard chords, so lucky you. Okay, here we go. First Noel. So this is in 3, right? The first Noel. I'm not going to sing it. I'm going to count it. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now I feel like the Bee Gees singing that high. Okay, but the simple version is really the same thing, but instead of this split bar here, you're just playing a C. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. Now as far as strumming, we haven't talked about strumming yet. We've just talked about playing the chord on the right beat because why? I'm going to tell you why. I've got a link for you right here. Click here for my Christmas song playlist on YouTube. What, Eric, you've given us a bonus? Yes, I have. Okay, I've given you a bonus here because all of these songs that I'm teaching you today, I've got a longer version where I'll teach you the strumming in the whole 9 yards. Just click on that playlist, it'll open up, and then you can be learning these songs with the correct strumming and any other narrative that I might have thrown in there as I was teaching that song. Okay, cool, awesome. I don't want to leave you hanging. This is why I try to give you all this stuff in the PDF, because we only, you know, have an hour and a half, 2 hours maybe here, which seems like a lot of time, but as many questions as we have and as much as I want to give you, I have to give it to you in this sort of format and tell you other places to go. Otherwise, this video would be like 10 hours long. Can't do that, right? Okay, so what child is this? We're going to do that one? Sure, we'll do the bonus. We're going to do the bonus. Here we go, right? So I did this earlier, right? This is Green Sleeves. Although we're going to do the chords version of this. Okay, so that's an A minor, and that's called Green Sleeves. That was like the original classical piece, like way back in the day. No one knows who wrote it. Oh, isn't that sad? It's like possibly the most beautiful melody in the history of melodies, and no one knows who wrote it. It's anonymous. So, What Child Is This is a Christmas song that took its melody from that, right? How cool is that? So, in this case, we're here in E minor. Now, you see a lot of ors here. And you know, E minor, or G. You see that, right? And you might be saying to yourself, well, it can't be or, it can't be either. It can be. This is what I'm telling you. There's so many different ways to play music. It's so cool. So if you want the easy version here, you could just hang out on this E minor, you know? If you want to get fancy pants, you throw that G in there, throw that C in there. Same thing here. If you want that D to continue for 2 measures, do it. You want to get fancy, throw in that B minor. But Eric, I'm scared of bar chords. It's okay. You can be scared of bar chords. I'm still going to teach them to you, whether you like it or not. Okay, the F and F chord, right? If you know how to play the F and F chord, that video that I have on YouTube, EFFING, you literally open up your chord vocabulary to several hundred, the possibility to play several hundred new chords immediately. Okay, I'll tell you about that if you watch that bar chords video. Oh no, that's not in the effing F chord. That teaches you how to play the F chord, a drilled down version of it, but watch the bar chords version. Just search YourGuitarSage bar chords and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, anything else? Okay, yeah, we got some other oars down here. Okay, so here it is. So we're going to do the more complicated version where I'm changing the chord every time. Otherwise, if you want to keep it simple, you can. I'll tell you what, I'll do it differently each time. How about that? So I'll do it complex for 1 and 3, and I'll keep it easy for 2. Okay, here we go. So this is in 3. 1, 2, 3. A child is this. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Cool. Now, there's this sense of not continuing to count if you hear me go 1, 2. But indeed, there should be counting. That's why I did it that way, where I said 1, 2, 3. Because if I just go 1, it has this feeling that it stops. But alas, you cannot do that, my friends. You've got to continue counting when you're playing charts, because the rest of the band is counting too. So they're counting on you to be counting. If it's verse 1 and you're counting 1, 2, you're waiting for 2 and 3 to happen, you need to be counting that. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. Okay, you always have to be counting, at least in the beginning. Now later on, you can just tap your foot or whatever, and you're going to feel the movement of the chords. Otherwise, you got to count. In the beginning, you just have to do it. Okay. Alrighty, my friends. So here is the click right there if you guys want if you want to see the playlist. All right, the Christmas playlist. Rock. Okay, love it, love it, love it. Okay, very quickly, I want to show you guys a couple things. First off, please share this video right now, my friends. Why? Because sharing is caring, and we're in that season. And if you're one of those people that are really, really, really super selfish and you're like, I ain't sharing, ain't doing it. I am not gonna hit that share button on Twitter, Facebook, and all those other places, Instagram. If you're like one of those folks, well, guess what? You should share anyhow. You know why? Because it will give you an opportunity to win a lifetime membership to the Unstoppable Guitar System. That's right. Lifetime membership to the Unstoppable Guitar System. You're also going to get 365. So we're going to pick a winner. This is what we do all the time. We've done this since the beginning of time. We've given away, literally at this point, easily over $1 million of Your Guitar Sage lessons. What? I swear to you, we've done it. I've calculated it. It's well over $1 million at this point to charity, vets, whenever we do these giveaways. So pretty cool stuff. So we are in the giving spirit, and alas, it's December, so we're even more so in the giving spirit, which leads me to the next thing. So share this, please, my friends. Okay, so it leads me to the next thing right here, my friends. What is this? This, friends, is the store. This is the YGS store. We told you about it yesterday. You guys, who's this guy? Oh man, that's weird. That's weird seeing. It's weird seeing yourself on camera. It's weird when you see 3 of yourselves. That's bizarre. Like it's a cloning It's freaking me out. Anyhow, so this is the deal. This is the YGS store where you can get lovely, lovely hot cocoa mugs, like this, and you can get beautiful shirts like this. So look, grandmother has been asking about this. The kids have been asking about this. We have stuff for the ladies. We do have stuff for children. I think we're working on continuing to grow that part out. But we do have some stuff. We've got hoodies. We've got t-shirts. We took some pictures with little E the other day. So pretty cool stuff. I won't drill down into any of this because you can do it by just going to shopygs.com. shopygs.com. Cool. Okay, in December is the coupon code. Literally right now it's 25% off of everything for the month of December. And in fact, the shirts, that shirt right there you can get for with the discounts, 18 or 19 bucks. Super cheap. Really high quality stuff. The reason that it took so long to get this store going, my friends, is we shopped a bunch of different apparel companies, and we found one that will allow us to pick and choose from all the greats. Okay, so the hoodies are fleece lined and stuff, or at least the ones that we got. There may be some cheaper ones that you can get, but I'm telling you that the stuff that is more expensive, it's really, really good quality. In fact, we might have only picked high quality stuff. I'm not sure. I'll have to ask Mike. But that t-shirt there is 18 or 19 bucks. Shipping $6 up until $100. So, and then after $100, it's free shipping. Right now, we're only shipping to the U.S. We may change that later. I'm not sure, but that was the wording that I got from my guys. Okay, we're only shipping to the U.S. right now. It's the cheapest it's going to be. What was the other stuff? There was some other information here, but nonetheless, there you go. Okay, use that code December when you're checking out. We had a bunch of people get in there yesterday and buy their swag. So pretty cool. Oh, look at the beanies too. We got beanies. The beanies are super awesome. We got 5 beanies in the other day. Woo! Okay, my friends. I need to start going to bed earlier is what I need to do. So here's the deal. I'm going to answer questions now, and I'm going to get to them first. Today, we're going to go first on YouTube because we did first yesterday on Facebook. Okay, Donald just ordered a shirt. Nice. Okay, Patrick. All right, sweet. Oh, I love it. All right, so we got folks buying stuff in there already. That's awesome. Jerry says, I have a membership. I want a UGS t-shirt to wear when I do stand-up comedy. I'll be your pimp. All right, yeah, and there's the link. You see it right there. At least on YouTube, we have it posted. We'll try to post it there on Facebook as well. shopygs.com. Okay, sweet. All right, let's get to some questions, and let's start with YouTube, okay? Okay, we got kids talking about flat Earth in here. I told you these broadcasts get weird because I'm kind of weird. All right. Can we have the classical version of Greensleeves tutorial, or is it already up in that link? Patrick, it's not up in that link. It is not. But you can find that anywhere on Google. So just search Greensleeves sheet music and you'll find something for it. Also, Ultimate Guitar, you'll find it there as well. All right, excellent. Oh, beautiful. Okay, good messages here. Okay, I'm just looking for question marks right now. Okay. And if you don't leave a question mark, it's not that I'm being a meaner. I just probably won't see it because I'm literally scanning as quickly as I can across hundreds of comments so that I can answer your questions. So if you don't put a question mark, or if you already put your question up there, and if you've put a question up there and you don't have a question mark, it's not I'm not being a jerk. I'm just literally I don't see it. Okay. Is there a C7 1 fret up then, like Green Day's Time of Your Life. Is there a C7 one grade? Okay, so the C7, thrash metal is saying, is this, check this out. So here's a C7, here's a C. But this note here, where I got my pinky, is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 flat. It's the flat 7. When you take a flat 7 note out of the scale, out of the major scale, and you throw it into a major chord, here's a major chord, you throw that flat 7 in there, now you have a 7th chord. Easy cheesy, right? So if you wanted to move this guy up and down the fretboard, you could. You would just have to not play the 6th or 1st strings, okay? So these two are muted. We're just playing 2, 3, 4, 5. So these inside strings here. So you can move this up to a D7, to an E7, F7, G7, A7. There's all sorts of different ways to play chords, right? And that is, the bar chords is an awesome way to do it because it just makes things a lot easier. Okay, B7 would just be a power chord with a pinky laid down across the B and the high E. Let me show you the B7 here real quick. Here's how I think of the B7. Take a G chord. You know how to play a G chord, right? Yep. Okay, now do this. Watch. Step 1. Back it up 1 fret. Step 2, drop the 1st and 2nd finger down 1 string and take your 3rd finger and bump it up 1. Boom. That is a B7 chord. I think it feels a lot like the G chord. Cool. That's a B7, and that's in the PDF that I'm giving you today. Cool? Mike, Eric, I am frustrated. I've been looking for your live webcast here since 11:50 Eastern Standard Time. No email, nothing on Facebook. Found you under notification just now. Help! Mike, we do not send out, we've got a very, 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 very big email list. We wouldn't wear you guys out by letting you know every single time we're going live. So here's what you got to do. Number 1, you should be subscribed. If you're not subscribed to the channel, you're not going to get anything. Not only when you go to subscribe, okay, and we'll show a little video after this, and then we'll show the kid playing guitar. But after this broadcast, we'll show you what to do. But essentially, when you hit subscribe, there's also an opportunity for you to hit a little bell icon, and what that does is that allows you to be notified as soon as I go live or as soon as I have a new video that comes up. So we definitely don't send emails out for that, my friend. And but I announce it on all social media. So if you got to just be kind of in tune with social media. Get on my Facebook, YouTube, all that stuff. And we did have this on Facebook, and we did have it on YouTube where the video was there. It's just you might not have been looking in the right place. But do that, please, Mike. Mike and I chat a lot. That's my buddy. He's in the Unstoppable Guitar System. All right. Like that hoodie. Thank you so much, Byron. Thank you, sir. All right. Just looking for question marks. Good evening, fellow pickers. Okay. Cool. This is live. Someone's asking. Okay. Going down to the bottom of the list here. And let's get back with some questions. And then I'll bump over to Facebook here in just one moment. I can't buy anything. I'm in Canada. Boo. Okay, not boo that you're in Canada, or not boo Canada, but boo that you can't buy it yet. I think we're going to try to, I don't know what we're going to be doing with that. We just opened the store. There's lots to learn about it, and we've spent about the last 4 months trying to build this thing up and make sure it was right. We didn't want you guys, the first time we did this, we got t-shirts and stuff, but they were kind of lame. When I mean kind of, they were really lame, and so we want it to be cool, okay? And it took some time to do that. So Andre, I would like to get it to where it will be worldwide. Hopefully soon it will be. Okay, you use 4-finger G. Is it okay to use a 3-finger G to start and change later? Edmund. Yeah, I mean, honestly, Edmund, I usually use a 3-finger G chord, and there's many different ways to play a chord. So when I think about a G chord, I think about this version. I think this chord with this third finger down on the third fret of the second string, I think it sounds better. I like the sound of the chord better than this one. But it just depends on what I'm doing. And then sometimes what I'll do is I'll lift my first finger, mute that fifth string with my second finger, so it's playing the sixth string, but the fifth string is muted because of the pad of that finger touching. And then I play frets 3 and 3 on strings 2 and 1. And I play that version of that's what I think of as a 3-finger G chord, but you probably mean this one, right? Where your third finger's up. You can do that one too. Any one of those are right. You know, you got to think that a recipe can vary and chords can vary. There's definitely some rules there, but a G major chord just has to have the 1, the 3, and the 5 from the G major scale. And if it has that in any combination, it's a major scale. I mean, a major chord. All right, cool. Cool. Brendan, can you get a t-shirt? You can, my friend. Shop YGS. ShopYGS.com. The link is a few comments above you there, Brendan, about one screen worth. You'll see it's in yellow. I was hoping you could teach it. Heartbroken. Patrick. Wow. Well, Patrick, now you're making me feel bad. That would take a while. That would take quite a while to teach, Patrick. It would take us probably a couple hours if we wanted everybody to be in on it, because you know you're talking about finger picking, you're talking about lots of technique and stuff like that. But it's a beautiful song to learn. And here's the deal: if you have the tab, Patrick, and you've gone through my free course, you don't need me. See, this is what, believe it or not, this is what I'm trying to do to my students. This is what I've tried to do with all my students, my one-on-one students back in the day, is I would have so many students. I was blessed to have a lot of students. I live in Music City, and we have a lot of people that want to play music, and my name got out there, and I had enough people where I had so many students that I really wanted to make them as independent as possible. So I tried to give them, that's how for me, YouTube started, because I would teach the lesson and then I'd make a video for them and I'd throw it up to YouTube, and then I'd give them the link so that they could work on the song so that we could move on to other things. And now you guys started watching those videos, and now I'm here selling t-shirts. It's weird, but that's how all this kind of got started. Yeah. But why did I go off on that tangent? Yeah. But you should get a t-shirt. Definitely get a t-shirt, Brendan. Okay. How do I get a t-shirt? You go to shopygs.com, buddy. I just bought a metronome. Can you quickly go over the standard settings for 4/4 or a waltz? Okay, so do I have a metronome here close? I've got one here, which my buddy Justin Sanderco, who's also a guitar teacher on YouTube and a great instructor, has an awesome application called Time Trainer. And I say it all the time. I was actually developing a metronome myself, and many of the features that he has in here were what was on my wish list, and I had never seen an app with it in it, and he beat me to the punch. Dead gun it, Justin. Oh, I love that guy. He's cool, and nonetheless, it has it'll speed up and do all sorts of stuff. But check that out. Time. What did I say it was? Time Trainer. But there's lots of free metronomes. This one costs a little bit, but it's super cool. So, and it's been a while since I've logged in here, so I'm going to have to, he's changed some things. Okay, so forget about that. So if you're using a metronome, and every metronome is going to be different anyhow, but essentially a metronome usually just clicks. It's usually just click, 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 click. There's no accent. Now when you have electronic or some of the electronic ones, definitely apps do it to where there's an accent on the one. So what you want to do with your metronome is, if it's in 4, then you want to set it to 4 or 4/4, to where the accent's on the 1, so that when it's playing, it'll be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, or you'll hear that emphasis on the 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. If it's in 3, then you'll set it to 3. There's got to be some, I mean, every metronome is going to be different, so you're going to have to figure your metronome out, what's 3 and what's 4. If it even has that, okay? So if it's in 3, then just set it at 3 so that the accent's on the 1. So it'll be a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Great way to practice your scales, to practice these songs, definitely. Okay? Is it good to use a metronome? And if so, what speed would we set it for the 3 and 4 count? Asset. So it is totally subjective. It depends on the song that you're playing or the speed that you're wanting to play it at, or if you're playing scales, what you can do comfortably. So the metronome is nothing but something to keep a click. That's all it is. So whether it's set on 220 or 120 or 20, it doesn't matter. It depends on how you use it. So there is no right number, okay? If you're practicing scales or anything, basically you want it to be comfortable. I have a video on YouTube regarding how to use a metronome. If you want to check that out, just search YourGuitarSage metronome. In fact, you could do that right now. Open up another tab, go to YouTube and search YourGuitarSage metronome, and I'll show you some bits and pieces for getting better with a metronome. I have a whole series inside of the Unstoppable Guitar System. That's the one that we're giving away today to some lucky player out there who shares this video, okay? Okay, good. Your version of Away in a Manger sounds nothing like the way we sing it over here in the UK. Do you use a different tune in the States? Huh. Maybe so. Oh, away in a manger, no crib for a bed, the little Lord Jesus laid down his sweet head. That's Away in a Manger here in the U.S. Huh. John, let me know if it's different, because I've heard, different things that that the UK does than the US and vice versa. So how fun is that, right? Eric, if you move the B7 up 1 fret, would it be a C7? That's a great question. Let's talk about that, because I know some of you might have similar questions. So the B7, going up 1 fret, he said, can you do this? Well, first off, let's use our senses to determine whether this is correct. Here's a B7, and this going up a half a fret, or a half a step, or 1 fret. Does that sound right? No, it doesn't, right? Because we got that clash right there, which is called a minor second, and it's the ugliest sound in music. And so that one will not work. It's a great question though, Bob. Let's ask, well, why won't it work? Okay, here's why. Remember how I said earlier with that C7, that if we could move that up and down the fretboard, right, very easily. But I said that if doing so, you would have to leave the 6 and the 1 string behind. Why? Because they're open. So any open strings that we have, we would have to compensate by barring. Okay, so we won't get into bar chords right now, but essentially, if I move these 4 notes up 1 fret, well, the open string is still open, and these 2 open strings are still open, so it's not going to sound very good if I do that. So I'd have to just play the inside strings. That sounds fine, but if I leave those 6 and the 1 on top of it, it's going to sound not very good. So here's the rule. When you are playing a chord, like for instance a C chord, you could move it up, but any open notes you would either have to bar in the relative same fashion, I'll show you that in a minute, or you'd have to leave them behind. So if I wanted to play this C chord up the neck, I could do something like this. So here I'm leaving that open string behind. I'm just not playing it. I'm playing just the notes that I'm fretting. 5, 4, and 2. Okay, which technically is not is not a major chord because we don't have the 5, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in there. If that went over your head, don't worry about it. But essentially, if you're playing open chords, you cannot bring the open notes with you unless you're barring. Okay, so how would we do that? Well, we were playing a C chord. And I just need you to understand the concept here. You will not be able to do this on the guitar right away, okay? But to understand the concept here, this is the nut, okay? And so when I just strum the strings like this, it's as if there's a hand holding that down, barring that. But in fact, there's not. No fingers there. It's the nut, okay? That's its job. That's what it does all day long. Now, if I play a chord, the open notes are still being played by the nut, right? So if I wanted to move this chord up the fretboard, I need the nut to come up with me. It won't do it. It'll just stay there. So we need a capo or we need a finger. So if I wanted this, let's say I wanted to do this at the 2nd fret and play a C chord. Well, I could bar this. Now this is acting as the nut, and here I can play my chord. And it's going to sound good because this guy is acting as the nut. Okay? Barring everything at that 1st fret. But I could also just bar it like a bar chord. So here's my C chord. In order to do that, I would need to have a finger to do that. I'm going to choose my 1st finger since it's way back there. So I need to re-finger my chord here to using fingers 2, 3, and 4. And now I've got my 1st finger freed up. So if I want to move this guy up 1 fret, then I need to put my 1st finger down right here. And so on and so forth. Make sense? So if that doesn't make sense to you, search YourGuitarSage bar chords and I'll show you more about that. Okay, that's a great question, Bob. Thank you so much. Yeah. Oh, Jerry, thank you. Follow YourGuitarSage on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. There are no boring posts. Oh, thank you. I was just about to say, I never get notified too. I just hit the bell. Yay, Larry. So if you guys don't know what this is, there's basically a little bell when you hit subscribe, or it's somewhere around that area there. I wouldn't know how to do it after you subscribe, but we'll show a little video here afterwards, okay? And that will let you know when I'm doing stuff, okay? Can you add sort by size? Oh, you're talking about the t-shirts? No, Barry, we pretty much, you know, there's like men's, ladies, babies or children, okay? So at that point, you would go to whatever it is that you want to pick, and then you put your size in there, okay? Some of them don't have specific sizes, but I think for the most part, there's a size for everybody, you know? So with that being said, you can't really sort by size. You just figure out what you want and then you put your size in. Even better, right? Do you have any tips on how to change faster from G to D? Yeah, let's talk about this. So this is covered. I'm going to only talk about it for a second, though, because this is covered in my free course. And if you're watching right now and have not taken my free course, oh my goodness, my friends, I don't know how I can present it to you. Okay, sorry. That is a phone call coming in. Sorry about that. So yeah, so here's the deal. So we got a G, right? Going from a G to a D. Two things to mention about that is, if you're going from a G to a D, take inventory of what your fingers are doing. What a lot of people do is that they go from a G to a D, they lift their fingers up each time. Now they have to reset all those fingers again. Well, check this out. If I go from a G to a D, look at this finger. Watch what happens. Nothing's happening. It's just staying there. Well, what's the big deal, Eric? I do it this way. Well, yeah, but you're having problems with the chord, right? So all I'm telling you is, this guy acts as an anchor, so it's great. It's a constant. So it's something you don't have to think about. It's one less finger you have to pull up. It's one less finger you have to put down. And it's one less margin of error. And it acts as an anchor. So basically, it's a constant. Your brain can rely on it so that all the other fingers can lay down in their appropriate places accordingly. So I covered this in a lot more detail in the free program that you can find at the top of the PDF, but it's YourGuitarSage.com/30. So the other thing that you want to do after this, Ovidiu, I believe I'm saying that correctly, Ovidiu. What you want to do is, without strumming, you want to do this. You want to grab the chord. You want to think about the D chord. Think about it, think about it, think about it. Ponder about it. Think about how beautiful it is and where each finger should go and everything else, right? And then make your move. But don't make your move without already knowing where each one of those fingers will go. This is the comparison. Here's your analogy. You ready? If you're jumping from one rock to the next on a river, you're going to figure out what the next rock that you're jumping to get across that river. You're not going to jump up in the air and then start looking for a place to land. That would be dangerous, especially if it's an algae, a rock with a bunch of algae or moss on it or something like that. You're going to slip. So you want to do the same thing with your chords. You want to think about your chord before you get to it. Why wouldn't you do that? Do you ever just get in the car and randomly drive to someplace? No. You get in the car because you're going someplace. You have someplace in mind. We need to do all of life this way, starting with our chords. So here's a D. So I'm thinking about the G, and I know the second finger's going to go here, first finger's going to go here. This guy's going to stay, and the pinky's going to go here. So I think about all that, and then I make my move, one finger at a time. Boom, boom, boom. I build my chord. You can only build it one at a time. Now, if you go, but Eric, you're putting all fingers on at once. Yeah, technically I am, but if we slowed it down, I would be probably putting one finger before the next finger. It would happen a little bit slower. Even if not, that's the way you practice it, okay? And then eventually, you're going to sit there and just go back and forth between the two chords. G, D, G, D, G, D, G, D, G, D. Make sense? And that's a great exercise to do when you're watching TV or whatever, when you're literally just needing to practice, okay? But you don't want to make any noise, okay? Okay. Oh, look at this. Don't despair. I'm all the way in the Caribbean. Patrick, you're in the Caribbean? Ooh, I want to be in the Caribbean. I'm all the way in the Caribbean, and my Miami box will shoot it to here in Barbados. Ooh, set up a skybox. Dude, I love that. Okay. I just got my new Strat today. Yeah. What is the first thing to do besides play it? Grease the nut? How is your EVH package coming? Oh, it's coming along very nicely, Larry. Okay, you just got your new Strat today. What is the first thing to do besides play it? Grease the nut? You can, but Larry, I think, Larry, you're in the program already. Number one, get in the free program if you're not already, and just play it. What I like to do is I don't like to worry about things unless there's something to worry about. So if your guitar's playing fine, then just leave it, play it. If it's not in tune, you may want to watch a video on tuning and how to stay in tune better. If the nut, when you're using the whammy bar, it starts sticking or something like that, yeah, you may want to grease the nut. Otherwise, don't focus on that. Just focus on playing, okay? And the EVH guitar is going great. I love it. Just getting used to it, and I love the way it plays. So more on that later, all right? Eric, do you figure out a way to get did you figure out a way to get autographed apparel yet? David, yes, we can do autographed apparel. I mentioned this yesterday. I don't know if it was you or somebody that asked about this. We definitely can do autographed apparel. We'll probably do something like that at some point. Maybe do some pre-orders or something. But in order to do so, it's going to be a little bit more expensive because they have to ship it from the factory to me. We've got to unpackage it. I've got to sign it. We've got to repackage it, relabel it, get new packaging, the whole 9 yards. So obviously all that costs extra. Whereas if it's just coming from the store, it's not as much. So we'll probably do something like that. If we're doing giveaways or something like that, then with guitars and everything else like that, we're going to start throwing more swag in there. Then yes, we definitely would sign it if you want it signed. So there's a couple different ways we could do it. Hey Eric, for us folks in Canada, are you able to ship to any U.S. address so us Canucks can pick them up. I think, Brian, my guess would be that whoever's buying it, that the shipping address needs to be the same as the credit card address, because obviously that's the number one red flag, especially during this season of fraud, is if it's being shipped to someplace different than the credit card. So if there's a way to get around that, or if they let you do it, then great. Otherwise, I would guess that it would need to ship where the credit card's address is. But I'm guessing that. I don't know for sure. Okay, cool. Southwest Florida, nice. Charles, you're where I want to be, my friend. In fact, I may be your neighbor. I want to move. Me and my wife, we want to move to possibly that area. But we've been saying that for 10 years. So, Sarasota-ish area. Okay, cool. When the zip-up hoodie like you have on now going to be available, can't handle it without zip-ups. Sal, is this not available right now? I think it is available. Pretty sure, buddy. I think it's available because I got it, you know?
It's a woman's.
Oh, that's right. Thanks. Oh, sorry. This is a ladies. This is a ladies hoodie. But it fits me fine.
I'll work on that.
When it's time to work out. You know it's time to work out when the ladies hoodie fits you. Okay, I seriously need to, yeah. Mary Beth, she likes the scary pockets too. Sweet. Awesome. All right. Let's, just looking for questions. Same words, but totally different melody for Away in a Manger. What? That's so cool. Wild, right? What's up with that? Huh. Okay, I picked that capo up for Christmas, for a Christmas present. How do you like it? I love it. Are you talking about the Thalia? Yeah, they sent this to me to do a review on, and it's a really nice capo. I love it. Beautiful. I actually did a review on it that you can find on YouTube. Just search Your Guitar Sage Thalia. Okay. Oh, that's sweet. Thank you so much, Charles. Come on back down to the Sunshine State. That's why I would be going down there, for the sunshine. For the sunshine, for the salt air, for the humidity. I love it. For the heat. I love it. Isn't it funny, from wherever you grew up? So I got a buddy who's from Nebraska. Mike's from Missouri. It's like wherever you grew up, your blood is somewhat acclimated to that. Unless you stay in whatever new area for a while, then your blood gets acclimated to that. But it's like those crusty conks down there in Key West. They love that heat, and I do too. Okay, so, but my buddy from Nebraska, he would run around in shorts, and it's like 20 degrees out, and he's like, "What? This feels great." You're crazy, man. You're crazy. All right. Okay, we did post the merchandise store there on Facebook as well. So if you're on Facebook and you need to just click on the link, if you don't type or have a keyboard, then you can just click on that link. Okay. Sweet. Look at John. John Wales on both. He's on Facebook and YouTube. He's like, I'm not missing a thing. Love it. I've got no link to the PDF. Craig, you do, my friend. You do. It is in the description of the video. So, Craig, check out the description of the video. It's right under where it says click here to download bonus PDF, and you'll see a link under there. Click that. That'll get you there, brother. Huh. Isn't available on my Facebook link. That's weird, Craig. Thank you for posting that, Al. Thank you so much, brother. That's a weird one that it's not showing up there. Might have something to do with like being in a different country or something. Man, the internet's weird. It's got different rules. Does it harm a tube amp to leave it in standby mode for long periods of time? Scott, depends on what you mean by long periods of time. So if you're talking about days, yeah, I wouldn't do it. I'd shut it off because, your tubes are still on technically, but the standby mode is better. My understanding is they're not as hot, and I think that's the way it works. That's why the standby mode is there. And then also, my understanding is you don't want to play a tube amp cold. Like, you don't want to just jump into it right away. You want to let it warm up for a minute, for a second, for a bit. So yeah, don't leave it in there too long. Typically, it's like after you've done sound check or something, you might put it in standby mode, and then when you come back on stage, you take it out of standby mode. It's ready to go. I have some amps that don't have standby mode. When using a capo, how do you know what fret to place it to change the correct key? Scott, so I cover this in detail inside the free course, YourGuitarSage.com/30. So I'll give you a very, very brief overview because I've got the information in a lot more detail available for you already. Otherwise, if you're playing in the key of C, you're playing like C, F, G, A minor, D minor, that sort of thing. If you wanted to play it, if you put the capo at the first fret, your C becomes a C sharp. So now technically you're playing in C sharp. And all the chord forms are the same. And if you wanted to play in the key of D, go C, C sharp, D. Now we're playing in the key of D. Make sense? So you can do this for the key of G or the key of C. Those are the ones that I teach the most. So if you're playing something in the key of G that's like G, C, and D, and E minor, A minor, then if you put a capo at the first fret, now you're playing in the key of G sharp, C, D, E minor, A minor. Now, if you're scratching your head right now, but that doesn't make sense because you just said the first fret is the key of C sharp, that means you're missing some crucial foundational bits. And all that stuff is covered in the free program. Okay, so if anybody listened to that just now and you're like, I don't understand that, that's confusing, it's just that you don't have those foundational bits. Have you ever heard of Pareto's rule or Pareto's principle? It basically says that if you know the right 20% of material, you can do 80% of the job. So that goes for just about everything I've ever seen. You probably don't want to use that rule with like brain surgery, okay? But like a lot of things, it does work. For instance, with guitar, I talk about the 9 essential chords. Why learn tens of thousands of chords when your intention is to play campfire guitar? You just need 9 chords and need to know how to use your capo. So Pareto's rule basically says that you need a smattering of information, but it needs to be the right information. It's not just random information, okay? You need to know the specific information that allows you to do 80% of the job. That essentially is what the YourGuitarSage.com/30 free course does, okay? It's the top 30 lessons I teach all my students, and it truly builds your foundation. Anybody watching this, if you haven't done it, my gosh, do it, my friends. And anybody who's been through that, please give a shout out so folks know that I'm not just pulling their leg, okay? Not just not pulling their leg. I'm not pulling your leg. I'm telling you the truth. I created that course because we had so many questions, so many comments that come in all the time, and we're constantly answering them, right? That I wanted to create something that I could say, okay, I can't tell you this in email format, but I can. Here's the link. Go learn it here. Here's the free course. And then folks we've had like 100-something thousand people go through that. Okay, so definitely worth the price of admission, which is free. Otherwise, literally, if we were to meet one-on-one, it would be easily over $1,000 worth of my time for us to sit down and do it. So that link will definitely help you a ton, okay? Okay, here we go. Okay, we got some more questions here. After a bit of Googling, it seems that there's a UK and US versions of Away in a Manger. Indeed, there are different versions from many countries. Huh, crazy. It never dawned on me to play those relative minors in the last song as an alternative. Is that universal? Will it always work? Jared, here's the deal. And I have a great video that I did yesterday. I say great because it really is. Like, you guys are going to have your minds blown by this video that I did yesterday because to me, it was a new bit for me too. I mean, I knew it, but I didn't know it. Kind of like the cage system. I talk about that all the time. I taught that years before I ever knew it as the cage system. But once you know it as the cage system, it makes more sense. So anyhow, there's something called relative major and minor. And for every major chord, there's a related minor chord that's 3 half steps below that. For every minor chord, there is a major chord 3 half steps above it that works perfectly, okay? Not necessarily perfectly as a substitution chord, but oftentimes it does because those 2 chords, they're both triads. They have 3 notes and 3 notes, right? And 2 of those notes match every single time. So, in fact, those chords can be used as alternates a lot of times, okay? So is it universal? It can be, but again, there's nothing to say that you can put whatever chords you want there. And if it sounds good, then that's all you need to know. If it sounds good to you, that's all you need to know. One guy's going to like Taylor Swift, somebody else isn't going to like Taylor Swift. So music is absolutely, completely subjective. So just remember that all the time. It'll save you a lot of mental anguish of, can I do this or can I do this? If you desire to do it, and see if it works, if it sounds good, you know? Will it always work? Probably not always, but a lot of times it will. Okay. Eric is the nut behind your guitar. Indeed. Indeed. I'm zany. I didn't see any zip-up lady hoodies. Mary Beth, did you look under the ladies section under hoodies? Because I'm pretty sure it's there. But I don't know. We've been jostling around with the site some, so we might be, you know, who knows. So if it's not there right now, as we start introducing more stuff to the store, you're going to see little announcements from me and what have you on this. So, so just be looking out for that stuff. But I'm pretty sure it's up there. What size women are you wearing? You look about my size. That's where only gray. They were only gray in men's. This is a small. I'm pretty sure this is a small. I'm wearing a small ladies hoodie, and it's fitting me pretty fine. It's a little snug.
It's up there.
It's up there. Okay. Mary Beth, it's up there. You just may have to dig around a little bit more, but the guys are saying it's up there. I have an electric guitar with humbuckers. Thank you, Mike. What effects can I use to make it sound more like a Strat? So, Rahan, you have an HSS Strat from what I remember. So here's the deal, Rahan. The whole point of having a humbucker in your Strat is to make it not sound like a Strat. So if you want to make the humbucker sound like a Strat, you're kind of defeating the purpose. So if you want it to sound like a Strat, what you want to do is take your pickup selector. Don't use selections 1, 2, or 3, but use 4 or 5, and then it's going to sound like that Strat you're looking for. Okay, but if you're wanting to have that bright single coil sound there, the humbucker is not going to allow you to have that sound. The humbucker is 2 single coils put together, wound together, so that it bucks the hum. So you don't have that sound that a lot of times the single coils will create when you're around fluorescent lights and that sort of thing. So that's specifically what that pickup is meant to do, as well as having higher gain for some really nice sounds, like overdriven sounds. Otherwise, put it in selection 4 or 5, which is when that switch is up, going towards you. That way. Okay? Good question. I'm a beginner guitar player and having a ton of problems with the F chord. Any suggestions? Stuart. Yes, and not just Stuart, but everyone, listen to me, okay? There's a lot of myths about guitar, and almost everybody believes them at first. As you start playing more guitar, they start going away. But like 99% of the folks that I have ever taught, everybody believes these myths. So we're coming into it with these myths. So even just this question here, I know where Stuart's coming from. I'm a beginner guitar player, right? and having a ton of problems with the F chord, right? Does that sound familiar to anybody? If you've had a problem with the F chord as a beginner, give Stuart an amen and say, yeah, dude, yes, everybody, right? And you'll see this chat blow up, and I'll have to keep up with it then. But here's the deal. Of course, the F chord is going to be difficult because it's a difficult chord to play at first. So I have two things for you, Stuart. Number one, the free course. Why do I keep saying this? Because the free course is going to show you how to fret properly. You could practice the F chord all day long, and if you're not fretting properly, you're not going to play the F chord. You're just not. And you're not going to know what to look out for. You're not going to know why it's not sounding good. You're not going to build those skills to determine what's being muted, why it's being muted, what finger's doing what, why is it doing that, like all those bits and pieces. And what we do in that beginner section is we break all that stuff down and get you very focused on being able to figure out your own flaws. Okay, I'm making you independent, so you don't need a guitar teacher. Okay, so that's really, truly where you want to start, Stuart. Start there, YourGuitarSage.com/30. Okay, you can also find that link at the top of the PDF. So anybody listening, if you're wanting to take advantage of that, I highly implore you to do it. Okay, you'll build all those foundations. Then after that, don't do it before then, but after that, watch the effing F chord. It's E-F-F-I-N-G. This is on YouTube. Search E-F-F-I-N-G F chord, effing F chord. And I'll show you a way that you can break the F chord down to 2-note nuggets. And then you do 3-note nuggets, and then 4-note, and then 5-note. But if you can't do all 2 notes, like 2 notes, 2 notes, 2 notes, 2 notes, 2 notes, then you're going to have a hard time doing 3 notes, 3 notes, 3 notes, 3 notes, and then 4 notes. And then 5 notes, and then 6 notes. You're going to have difficulty. So what this method of breaking it down does is it shows you just where you're at. If you can't juggle 3 balls, adding a 4th ball won't help. It'll make it harder. So go back to 2, get that down, get so good at juggling 2 balls that now you can add the 3rd ball. So that's the way you want to think about your playing all the time. If it's too difficult, if you're getting frustrated, this is the only thing it means. Are you ready? This is a major nugget. Write this down. It means that you're trying to do too much for how much practice you've already done. I know, humbling, you probably want to punch me right now because you think that you've done all the practice that you should have and you should be better by now. That's the other thing. Get that out of your head. Your playing will determine how much practice you've done. It never lies, okay? When I mess up, I should have practiced more, okay? Bottom line, your practice will come out in your own playing, okay? Beginners, obviously you haven't had as much time to practice, so you could pick up the guitar that day, practice 16 hours and say, ever since I played guitar, ever since I picked up guitar, I've been practicing for 16 hours a day, but you only booked one day. Well, obviously you only have 16 hours in, so you're only going to be so good, but you'll probably be pretty good after 16 hours. So all that to say, it's all practice. It's all practice, okay? Okay. Okay, so Rahan, as far as those effects on the Strat, there's nothing per se that's going to make it more sound more like a Strat, okay? Okay, excellent, excellent. Okay, here I go. Looking. Whoa, that chat did move up very quickly. All right, and I'm just looking for those with a question mark, okay? Because it's too quick. This thing's going way too quick. Do you bar with the side of the finger? Rooster's saying. You know, usually when I'm barring, I will try to use a little bit more of the side of the finger as opposed to straight on. So you can't see my elbow here, but I'm kind of pushing it out away from my body. That feels awkward anyhow. So what I try to do is I try to tuck that elbow in towards my body, and then look what it does to my hand, even though you can't see what I'm doing with my elbow. When I tuck my elbow in, my hand goes off to the side like this, and I'm able to use the side of my finger a little bit more. Why use the side of your finger? Well, if you can get a little bit more of that, it's harder. It's more rigid than it is the front of the finger. Okay, so yeah, it'll make your bar chord sound better for sure, or it will help. Okay. Okay, great. We are playing in the key of G when not using the capo. Bill, so when we're not using the capo, we could be playing in any key. That's the caveat. That's why that question there is answered several different ways inside of the free course, YourGuitarSage.com/30. Anybody who you're looking at these questions, you're saying that same thing, like, yeah, are we in the key of G or whatever? You got to get those essentials down. So Bill, definitely check out the free course, okay, my friend. But here's the deal: we can be in the key of G. This is the key of G. This is the key of C major. Okay, we could play B flat. We could play in any key with the capo off. We could be in any key with the capo on in anywhere. So that where the capo's at does not determine what the key is. There's the other variable, which is, well, what chords are you playing? What notes are you playing? That's what determines that. With all that being said, Bill, I've got a really handy dandy color-coded system that you can determine right away. Okay, well, these are the chords I'm playing, and I'm capoed at the 4th fret. What key am I in? And it will tell you right away. It's like a little matrix. Super easy. It will absolutely tell you what the answer is right away, and eventually you're just going to get it, and you won't need that anymore, but at first you may need that. So check that out. That's in the free course. How do I find the circle of fifths? Gary is saying. It's pretty simple, Gary. I have a video for this on YouTube. Just search Your Guitar Sage circle. But the circle of fifths is really easy to find. Basically, if you take your major scale and you go up to the 5th note, you're moving up in a 5th, and then you play the major scale off that, go to its 5, and so on and so forth. So you could do this. You go, if we're in G, if we want to know what the 5th is, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a D. If we want to know what the 5th is, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's an A, and then I'll come back down here to the A because this major scale works great for the 6th and 5th string, not so much for the 4th string root. Okay, so let's do this again. Here we are on the G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a D. Here, we'll do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's an A. So here's an A also. So now I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's an E. And I do from the E. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a B. And now if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you could just keep going like that. You could also do this. Whatever note is here, that's your 5. Let me get a little bit closer here. So for instance, here's a G, here's a 5. So it's always down 1 string, up 2 frets. That's your 5. And then if you want to find the next 5, you go down 1 string, up 2 frets. There's an A. Or we could play this A. You want to find the 5th from that, you go down 1 string, up 2 frets. That's a 5. It happens to be an E. Okay, many different ways you can do this. You can also do it like this. G, D, A, E, B, F sharp, and so on. So if I started at the F here, watch this. This is the circle of fifths. And I don't even have to know the names of those notes. I just, right? That's another way to do it. That's your circle of fifths. So if you want to know what those are, super quick, that's the way to do it. That being said, I have a whole series inside the Unstoppable Guitar System that says, why is the circle of fifths important? Like, how is it helpful? And I show you how to find relative major and minor really quickly, how to know all the chords in every key very quickly, how to know what chords, if you wanted to change key, how to do that very easily, how to know what keys don't work very well together, just a myriad of different things that you could derive from the circle of fifths. It's a really powerful tool, okay? Eric, are you wearing the matching thong with your lady's hoodie? You'll never know, will you, Jeff? I don't know. I don't think we have any thongs yet. But I think we should, right? I think we should. That'd be fun. I was wondering if you were going to add PayPal to your shopping payment. I think we are. Yeah, we're in. It's not hooked up already, Mike, right? Not yet. No, but we're working on that. Yes. Thank you, Mary Beth. Oh, does Stuart have a question? He didn't leave his thing, right? That's one bad chord. How long does it usually take to get it down? I've only been playing since September of this year, and that chord is causing me problems. Stuart, how long does it take to get down? It depends on lots of variables, but literally, if you were to work with it for a few hours, I believe that you could get it. And that doesn't have to be several hours in one day. It could be over several days. But watch that video. It's not going to make sense until you watch the video. Then you're going to be like, oh, I get it. Okay, this is awesome. Okay? Yeah. All right, sweet. Eric, can you show us a B6 chord instead of a B chord, as I struggle with bar chords? Okay, well, Andrew, the B6 chord needs to work well for what it is that you're trying to do. Okay, so you can't just throw a B6 in there. I mean, you can. Again, we get to make up our own rules, but it may not sound exactly like you want it to sound. So here's a quick way to find this. We talked about chord embellishments last week, I believe it was. Here's a B. So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then that note right there, which is an A flat, I need to throw that A flat into the chord. So if I wanted to play, here's a B7. So if I wanted to play a B6 chord, I would do something like this. Let's see, can this one be played very well? That's a B6 chord, one of the prettiest chords there is. I love 6 chords. So here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You've got your 6 right there. That's how we do it in jazz. That's how it would look. And basically what I did here is I just played the 6, or I played the 1. This is B. If I wanted a B6 chord, I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that guy needs to be in there. This note here is the 3 of the chord, right? The one that makes it major or minor. So I got the 1, I got the 6, I got the 3. Here is my 5. So I got 1, I got the 3, I got the 5, I got the 6. And that's how we do it. Another way that you could do it is this here. So if you're playing like a 5th string root 6 chord, you'd play it like this. This is a D. Here's the 3rd. Here's the 5. Here's the 6. So it's kind of like I'm holding an A minor chord, and then I'm putting my pinky on the C there and sliding it up. Always use association whenever you're, as much as you can when you're learning, because association is truly what gets you to learn stuff very, very quickly. So if I say to you, this is an A minor with the pinky at the C, well, you're never going to forget that. If I showed you this fingering, this crazy fingering, and talked about it a different way, you'd probably forget it. But if I just say A minor, it's an A minor with a C in the bass, well, that's a C6 chord. And this is a D6 chord. This is an E6 chord, F6, G6. Okay? Also a 6 chord. Okay, cool, great. I'm a lefty, so my guitar is strung for left-handers. Cool, won't make any difference, for sure. Mary Beth, get a PayPal debit MasterCard. Cool. Didn't know they had that. How do you use a looper with Christmas songs? How do you use a looper? Record, overdubs, play over. What looper do you recommend? Okay, Medicine Man. So you would use a looper over a Christmas song like you would anything else. The looper that I recommend is, just for the price, is the TC Electronic Ditto. It's super small. It just does the job. It's super cool. There's a myriad of them out there. The Boss RC50. Is it RC50? Yeah. I think they have a 250 and a 300 as well. I'm not sure, but I've had all of those. I haven't had the 300, if there is a 300. But there's one that has a bunch of pedals. Look, they're all, a looper is a looper, and they all do different things. They all do the same thing. They loop. Some of them have a few bells and whistles, but you just need to drill down and search for the one that you want. But that Ditto pedal is a lot for the money, is what I'm saying. And how do you use a looper to record, overdubs, play over? We won't go over that today, my friend, but I do have videos on that. I've got lots of videos inside the Unstoppable Guitar System, but I have a few probably on YouTube if you just search YourGuitarSage looper or loop. But essentially, you play whatever musical passage that you want to play. I usually play it through one time before I hit the record button. It's just like hitting record, but you hit it with your foot. So let's say the riff is this. That's it. Then I would go 1, 2, 3, 4, click, click, dun, 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 and it would just sit there and continue to loop. And then and then you hit it again, you can overdub on top of it. All right, sweet. Is it the same for lefties, the F chord? Yes, except it's the other way around. So yes, I had a lot of lefties. I used to take my videos and flip them the other way for lefties, and then they said, you don't need to do that because the mirror image is actually better. We like that, so I stopped doing that. Let's see, one chord with my right hand, does it make any difference? I chord with my right hand, does it make any difference? No, it makes no difference at all. All the same. Has Jason caught up with all the new vet member registrations? I still need my invite to the UGS group. Larry, okay, so here's the deal. There's not an invite to the UGS group on Facebook. Everybody listen to me. If you're in UGS and you're waiting for a Facebook request that you put in, you will not get it because there's only one way to do it, and it is by sending an email to support, as it says in giant letters on that invite page. Not the invite page, on the main page, on the welcome page. So it's really important. We have a certain way of doing things, and there's a reason why we do it. We're not being jerks. We've got a lot of people that want to get into that Facebook group that aren't UGS members. That wouldn't be fair to the UGS members who have paid, or the vets, right? So it needs to be by that invitation. And then we do a cross-check to make sure you're in the program, and if you're in the program, then you get put in there, okay? So, but Larry, are we caught up with all the new member registrations? No, I don't think we are, because I see new people popping up every day. I don't know how many folks got in there, but a lot. Like, I'm pretty sure over 1,000, because last time I checked it was like at 900, and that was a long time ago. Okay, cool. All right. Is it easier to use bar chords on an electric guitar than an acoustic or not? Maybe because of the lighter string gauge. It can be, but it all is dependent on what the acoustic is and what the electric is. But as a rule, yes, it's a little bit easier. I don't even know what that is, Mike. When ganja gives you gynomastia, I don't know what that is. It sounds not good. I don't want to have that, whatever that is. I don't want to know what that is. Okay. Boss RC3. Yeah, I think that's a good one too. Okay. Okay. Okay, cool. Eric, I am playing, my playing the other night made the significant other shed some tears. Oh, I blamed you. Is that okay? No worries, bro. They were tears of joy. Oh, isn't that nice? How in heaven's name can music do that? It does that to me all the time. I'm listening to something and I'm like, how does it do that, right? It's so cool. It's like the way the chords move. I mean, melodies. I listen to Chopin, and sometimes I'm listening to Chopin and he'll have a chordal movement, structure, melody thing, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's like talking with this different language. No words are being spoken, but it's universal. That's why they call it the universal language, is because you can literally play that for any peoples, and they're going to, and animals and plants and everything else, and they love it, right? How cool is it? Music is awesome. Mary Beth just ordered a crew long sleeve t-shirt. Yay! Thank you, Mary Beth. Beautiful. Love it. Okay, I'm going to bump back over to Facebook in a minute and answer some questions there. Eric, is there a technique to lift all fingers when transitioning between open chords? I find myself sliding fingers, say, between A, M, and C. Am I cheating? Thanks. David, no. Polaris, David, you're doing the right thing. So that's what I call inventory, or chordal inventory. Like, look, if we have this A minor here, okay, you're doing the right thing, so I would not create an exercise for you to do the wrong thing. But if I play A minor and then I lift my hand up and then I play a C chord, well, this may seem to some people like it's not a big deal, but it's a huge deal, because it's called economy of movement, okay? The more you do a repetitive task, have you ever done like a repetitive office task and you're like, this is driving me nuts, I need to get closer to the stapler. You know, you wouldn't, if you had to get up one time for a stapler, it's across the room, it's no big deal. If you had 1,000 things to staple, you're going to bring the staple close to you. You're not going to get up 1,000 times. So that is an exaggeration of what I'm talking about right now, economy of movement. So if our hand is right here, and we're going to play an A minor chord, for us to do this and then do this assures that you're going to have more problems, okay? Because you're increasing your margin of error because you're moving more fingers. Now you're doing this, now you're doing this. Why? When here's a C chord, watch my A minor chord. Watch how simple this can be. One finger moves. When I play the C chord, one finger moves. So that, look, my first and second finger, they just stay in place. And this one guy just moves back and forth. So that's really important for us to do this. Same thing with the G chord here. Watch this third finger. It'll just stay right there. So if you do that, what happens is you will have more effective and more efficient movements. And whatever you practice, you get good at, right? So practice makes permanent. Practice doesn't make perfect, because if you're practicing crap, you're going to get perfectly good at crap. It makes permanent. So whatever you're practicing, if you're practicing the wrong stuff, this is why I'm giving you that free course, my friends. It's going to guide you through the hardest parts of guitar, okay? And later on, if you want to get much better than that, then I've got more videos for you, lots more, 1,000 something on YouTube, and I've got the Unstoppable Guitar System and the blogs and the live and everything else, okay? So all that to say, make sure that you have those basics down, because that's the stuff that makes a good guitar player. It really does. Okay, that's one of the things. Eric, when trying to solo on scales, it sounds mechanical. Suggestions? Yes, Donald. On YouTube, watch this video. Search YourGuitarSage Minimalistic Blues. That's the first thing I want you to do. Minimalistic Blues. The other thing I want you to watch is YourGuitarSage Call and Response. But the Minimalistic Blues is the more important thing. If you're in the Unstoppable Guitar System already, Don, then I have that whole section on minimalistic blues, where I talk about, we take a small section of a neck. The reason that it sounds mechanical, and Don, welcome to the club. This is every player who's ever attempted to play solos, lead guitar, ever. No one starts off sounding intelligent. We sound mechanical, just like a baby who's learning to talk, right? They're saying stuff, and then when they start talking, they're saying the same thing over and over again, or they only know so many words, or it sounds like it doesn't really make sense, but they're talking. So this is everybody when you're starting off something new. So Don, you're not, it's not you, it's the guitar, okay? So So what you want to do, Donald, is this. People, they learn at least one scale, or they learn 7 forms of this scale, and then they're like, okay, here I go, I'm gonna solo, and then here comes the, and they're like, and they're just kind of playing through the scales, and they're like, well, why doesn't that sound good? It just sounds like I'm playing through the scales, because you're just playing through the scales. So what we need to do is we need to parse all that back. And we need to just say, let's just take one section of the scale. Take these 4 frets. Right? And if you do that, then what that does is that helps you to learn one section. It's like a map. If you're looking at a big map, a world map, you probably don't need to look at the world map. You just need to look at the section of the area that you're at and where it is that you want to go. Get really familiar with that, right? There's no need to figure out what's happening a map in Kenya if you're not going to Kenya. Okay, don't look at it. So in the same way, if you're not down here playing, don't be thinking about that, and don't go down there and play it. Just work on one little section. Or better yet, if you're going to travel the world, you might go to one city. You're not going to spend an hour in each city. You're going to spend a day or a week or what have you in a city. You're going to get to know it. That maybe is a little bit closer to what I'm talking about. You know, get to know one area really well before you move on to something else, you know. Okay, Eric, gynecomastia is female breasts growing on a man. Okay, cool. I don't have that yet. No, I don't have that. Okay, so man boobs. Yeah, sure, I know what you're talking about. Man boobs. Okay, Eric, I got one of the 6 fret practice necks, trying to figure out how to tune. Wow, ear bleeds. Mike, that is not tunable, my friend. That doesn't tune. So do not try to tune it. It won't ever sound in tune. It's not a guitar. It's just meant to wiggle your fingers on. Oh, I hate to disappoint you, my friend. But yeah, it won't. It's not going to sound good ever. You're never going to get it in tune. It doesn't have a bridge, right? I have one of these, a shred neck. I don't have it here, but I've got one. It's not meant to tune up, my friend. Just tune it up, not tune it up, but you just want to get the strings, you know, fairly tight to where they're not super loose, right? But yeah, you'll spend a while doing that, like infinity. That many years trying to get that right. Okay. No soup for you. Okay. All right, here we go. I'm bumping over here to Facebook. I'm going to make sure that we don't have any questions there, and we're going to end this here pretty quickly here, okay? I may bump over one more time to YouTube. We'll see. Oh, Matt, thank you so much for posting the link to the free course. Thank you so much. Hey, Eric, are there any Stomp OD distortion pedals that work better with single coil pickups? Yes, the Tube Screamer. The Ibanez Tube Screamer, Maxon makes it as well. A lot of people have created their version of it. And yeah, Tube Screamer works fantastic. I love it. And I'm coming out with my pedal soon, and it will work great with humbuckers and single coils. I'm not just saying that. We've specifically designed it that way. And you're going to see some stuff about it soon, okay? Kevin just ordered a shirt and hat. Sweet. Hey, you guys, when you get this stuff, would you send us pictures, please? Question mark? Please send us some pictures, because we would love, if it's cool with you, we would love to put you on social media. But if you don't want that, then don't send us pictures. But we would love to feature you and say, hey, here's Jerry. Hey, here's Kevin. That sort of thing. Cool? So if you get your swag, have a significant other take a picture of you, send it to us, and then we'll feature you. Okay? When using a capo, how do you know what fret to place it on to change the correct key? Charles, so we touched about that. We touched on that already. I cover that in high detail along with a colorful PDF that will help you a bunch that's in the free program, YourGuitarSage.com/30. Matt posted that link for you inside of Facebook a couple times there. So that's the place to go, my friend. Okay, sweet. Okay, that was it. That's it on Facebook. I'm bumping back over to YouTube. Let's get to a couple more questions here, and we're gonna head out. Okay, because we've gotten to all the questions literally. T-Rex request at the end of your live video. I'll see if we can get that in there, my friend. But we have even a better video of this kid. It just shows you what you can do with practice. Now, again, I know some of you are automatically going to look at this kid. I know I did. It's a knee-jerk reaction. We can't help knee-jerk reactions because that's just a reaction that we have, right? But we can take a moment and pause and think intelligently and determine if that's truly the way we feel. When you see this kid play, kid's got to be 7 to 10 years old, and he plays better than I've played to date. When you look at that, you might go, oh, God, some people are just born with it, aren't they? Well, I can tell you that the answer to that is absolutely zero, no. It's never existed since the beginning of time. Once someone shows me a 2-year-old playing this well, okay, could be a miniature guitar or anything, I don't care, ukulele, then I'll believe it, okay? Then I'll go, okay, there's no way they could have practiced that much. But if you have a few years to practice, I mean, Mozart started seriously digging into the harpsichord at like 4 years old. So but he was obsessed with it. So what happens when you're obsessed with something? You get good at it. You ever seen a little kid with a video game? They're obsessed with it and they're on it all the time. They're going to get really good. An instrument is the same thing that's going on in your head with a video game, except you're getting so much more out of it. So watch this kid at the end. So that's the video that we're going to post. If we can find that T-Rex video, we'll put that up there too. But you got to watch this video. But what I don't want you to do is I don't want you to think that this kid was born with that, because he wasn't. And in fact, if you think that, it's really insulting, because I guarantee you that kid doesn't go out and play very much. He's probably not hanging out with the other boys and girls, making forts and getting into trouble and stuff. Wherever you put your time is where your time is. Forts are fun too, but this kid's an amazing guitar player. Watch him. Okay. Eric's on the other side of the planet. He wants a hoodie. I know. We're gonna try to do it. Try to make it worldwide. Can you give the URL for your store again? My link disappeared. Thank you for all you do for us. You're so welcome, Beth. It's shop, SHOPYGS. shopygs.com. We'll put that, we'll put that right there in the chat. Okay. Yes. Did you make that T-Rex custom? No, I purchased that. That's an Amazon purchase. How do you do vibrato and hammer on as a pro? Some tips, please. Pernille. How do you use vibrato and hammer-ons as a pro? Some tips, please. I won't go into that this late in the program, Pernille, because I do have videos for both of those. On YouTube, search YourGuitarSage Vibrato, and then also YourGuitarSage Hammer-On. I'm pretty sure I have that as well. But it's literally just practice. Okay, if you know the basic technique and it doesn't sound good, it never does in the beginning. Hammer-ons don't sound good in the beginning. Vibrato doesn't sound good in the beginning. Pull-offs don't sound good in the beginning. So if you know the basic technique, you're doing the right thing. There's nothing I'm going to show you that's going to help you there. It's just practice. Okay, cool. David, the kid in the video is possessed by demons. No other possibility. I know, dude. He plays like a beast. Okay. Friends, with that being said, I swore that I would not make these 2 hours anymore, but these are 2 hours long anymore. And it feels like it goes by in a half hour because we're having fun. I love this. All right, my friends, love you guys so much. A few things I want you to do. If you have not downloaded the PDF already, friends, Dear Lord Jesus in heaven, little baby Jesus in a manger, what can I tell you? You got to download the PDF. It's not going to help you to just sit here and watch these videos. You have to get involved, okay? You've got to start playing. You've got to do the exercises. You've got to read. You've got to apply all this stuff. Other thing, if you have not gotten into the free program, Dear Lord Baby Jesus in a Manger, please, you've got to get in that free course because it's there for you, okay? It's free. YourGuitarSage.com/30. It's also in the link that's at the top of the PDF. So do that. Go through that. I promise you. Hit me up when you're in the program, and I'll shout back to you inside of the program. It's going to get you on the right page of any place that you want to go on the guitar. These are the essentials that any great pro guitar player has, okay? Got to do that. Share this video right now because sharing is caring, and it's your one way that you can say, Eric, thank you so much for what you do by sharing this video. So please do that right now. If you are a completely selfish person, well, you got to work on that, but nonetheless, there's still a reason to share because you may be the winner of the of the Unstoppable Guitar System /365, right? You buy 365, it's $80. You buy Unstoppable, it's $400. Okay, so nonetheless, we'll give you both of those. If you buy UGS right now, if you buy the Unstoppable Guitar System, we throw in 365. But if you buy those separately, that's how much they cost. We're literally giving that away to some lucky winner. If you share this video, we pick a winner afterwards. So share it in any way that you can on social media. We look and do this afterwards. Okay. Is there anything else? Oh, your shop, YGS.com, the apparel store. Just check it out. You don't have to buy anything. Just check it out. You know, tell me what you think. Because there's some really cool stuff in there. I want to hear your suggestions. I know you guys are probably going to come up with some stuff where you're like, dude, could you make this? Could you make a yummy, could you make a yummy mug that I could put my hot cocoa in? Sure we can. We'll do that. Just let us know what you want. You want thongs? We'll make thongs. Whatever it is you want. Okay, that being said, friends, I'm out of here. Oh yeah, the kids store right there, the kids store. Don't forget that. Any Christmas bits that you got coming up, if you're buying things for the kids and you're like, I don't know what kind of picks to get, I don't know what kind of guitars to get, I don't know what kind of amps to get, I don't know what kind of strings to get, anything related to guitar, you're going to see stuff on my pedal board. It's really cool. Check out this site, kit.com/YourGuitarSage, and the way we have it sectioned off and everything, acoustic guitars and the whole 9 yards. You're going to be good. Lots of reviews that I've done on there. You can follow the link down to a review on YouTube, but all the stuff that I recommend. So I get a lot of folks asking about recommendations all the time. That's where to go. Any other thing? YourGuitarSage.com/live for the live stuff that I do on the big live broadcasts that I do. There's a billion things I could tell you about, but you know what to do, my friends. Thank you so much for joining us. Check this kit out. We're gonna put this kit on the screen here in a minute, and then after that, watch the other little video that we have afterwards, which will show you how to do those notifications, the subscribe, stuff on Facebook, and all that stuff that you may not know how to do. All right, my friends, love you all. Thank you so much.